Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. We are just getting started here. The G1 League qualifiers, the Southeast Asia qualifiers specifically. Although there are some teams that aren't from Southeast Asia competing in the qualifier. TI9 champions among them. As I found out in game number 1, they're actually from China. So, well, even though it's a Southeast Asian qualifier, I suppose it is really open to anyone. It's just that the servers are exclusively Singapore-hosted games. With that being said, it's currently Rilimin leading the best of 3, 1-0. If they take this match, they take the series, they secure themselves a spot in Phase 2 of the event, where there will be quite a list of powerful teams awaiting them. So I'll try and actually get that full list for you guys for Phase 2. I have it somewhere. Ah, yes, here it is. Zenith, ABC, Tongfu, LGD Int, Vici Gaming, For Love, Rising Stars, and Rattlesnake. So a heavy dose of Chinese teams invited, but some interesting Southeast Asian teams, and of course LGD Int as well. Anyway, with all that being said, the point is TI9 champs got to win, or they're done. So we'll see if they can do it here. With all that being said, I'm LD, of course, will be on the summit. Thank you all for joining me. If you're watching this directly on Twitch TV, which I know many of you are, I would really appreciate it if you could watch through the G1 League website, g1.2p.com. I may sound like a broken record to many of you who are already doing it, but it really will help the G1 League. It gives them basically something they can take their sponsors to their sponsors and say, hey, we have people who want to watch directly on our website. We can bring a lot of web traffic to this tournament, and with that, the Western audience is significant. It's something that's worth basically catering to and, you know, not necessarily building our broadcasts around, but keeping in mind when we're developing our products. So if you want to support the G1 League, if you want it to be bigger and better with hopefully more European, North American teams in the future, then the best thing you can do is to go watch on their website. It also helps me, and you want to make me happy, right? Otherwise, I'll stop casting. I might turn the stream off right now if you're not there. So, with that being said, Rilimin, they're going to start with the Nyx Assassin pick. TI9 champs actually banned the Rubik.
10 seconds remaining.
Interesting because Rilimin banned the Mag. So the Mag ban actually came first, and they still banned the Rubik anyway, just not wanting to deal with it this game. The funny thing is, there's not going to be an RP to steal because there's no Mag, but just showing Vodka respect, that's definitely a respect ban. They go for the Darkseer Lifestealer combo, and this is a pretty strong response to the Nyx Assassin. You have two heroes who are very hard to burst, and if you can't burst them, they can turn around, either surge away, get the vacuum wall off, or just rage and start auto-attacking. Lifestealer, also a great counter to Nyx Assassin because he has rage. And with rage, you can just open wounds him, go to work with the rage. You don't have to worry about getting Spike Carapace done. You don't have to worry about getting impaled.
5 seconds remaining.
You can just calmly but firmly maul him into submission.
Reserve time.
Apparently the Chinese netizens agree that I'm a good caster, but I lack hair. That's okay. Gods is a bad caster, but he has enough hair to make up for it. Oh, snap. Between Gods and Lumi, I think we got hair covered here at BTS, so I'll just stick to casting. I actually have a decent amount of hair. It's really not as bad as pictures make it look, I swear. But yeah, anyway. I may go bald at some point. I'm okay with that. That's why I'm going to the gym. Gonna get swole, gonna look like Vin Diesel. Just need a few years for that. But with that being said, TI9 champs are a really potent opening. They go back for the Lifestealer, they go back for the Lone Juror. They have 3 incredibly hard to kill cores, who also, by the way, are very good at pushing, scale well with items. I would love to see them. I mean, the only issue is they don't really have a great partner for the Lifestealer. Darkseer's okay, but he's not really fantastic. Ideally, you'd like to have something like a Queen of Pain, a Storm Spirit, a Prophet. Maybe they could fit a Prophet into this lineup if they want to get greedy. And I think you somewhat do want to get greedy. I mean, a little bit vulnerable to Nyx Assassin, but Rilimin have picked a Phantom Lancer and a Nyx. They're not going to be doing too much until that 6 to 10 minute mark. And realistically, they want this game to go 30, 40, 50 minutes. Even though they're up against multiple carries, they have Phantom Lancer. They still want it to go late at the end of the day. So, the Chen ban. Interesting. I think that's smart because I mentioned getting greedy with a Prophet. A Chen's another hero you can get greedy with. He's a good 5-man hero. He allows you to break the base earlier. Then maybe your Darkseer is the one to build the mech. The Chen builds the Arcane Boots. And you just start pushing around the 10, 15 minute mark. And Phantom Lancer is not going to stop a push by himself. He can counter push. He can stall the game. But they need AoE on their supports. And right now they don't have it. Shadow Poison doesn't really count. I know Winter always brags about how, or talks about how good Shadow Poison can be as a counter pushing spell. But It's really not that good compared to most other heroes. Like what Lina brings to the table, what Leshrac or Keeper of the Light can bring. Shadow Poison's alright. It's something. It's good for farming the jungle, but to actually just stop a push dead in its tracks, you need burst damage to eliminate the creep wave immediately. Otherwise, they're wailing away on your tower. So, Bounty Hunter the ban now for the TI9 champions.
10 seconds remaining.
They want to split push. They want to map control. They don't want to be getting ganked with that Nyx +1, and the Bounty Hunter is an ideal +1. So, a smart ban. There's still Nature's Prophet. Perhaps they'll be the ones to ban the Prophet, because Prophet goes well with Nyx as well. And he goes well with Phantom Lancer. So I actually think if they don't want to pick the Prophet, they should be banning it. And they may just want to ban it anyway. Prophet also a hero who can look to stop pushes with his ultimate, with his Treants. A lot better than anything they have at stalling the game out. So that would be a high priority hero for me. For the TI9 champs, the issue is going to be, who are their supports going to be? There's no Rubik, there's no Shadow Demon, there's no Keeper of the Light. They could maybe go, and they need stuns, because they don't have any. So maybe they think about something like a Sand King here, maybe a Sand King Leshrac combo. Could be an option. It would give them a pretty solid 5-man. The issue is both of those heroes need a lot of levels and farm, and I'm not sure who they would get as sort of a suitable replacement. There's really not much left. I'm actually going to bring up the hero list just because I'm curious. I know Valve is sleeping, but in case anyone is actually watching, please make it easy to look at the hero list without losing the draft in-game. Thank you. But anyway, just a small thing I would like to see. We could even see something like a Weaver for Rilimin. They have Phantom Lancer. Weaver could be that strong solo who just constantly applies pressure. He's not going to dominate his lane, but he's a good split pusher, so in a pinch he could fit. There's still that Prophet. Something I think they may go for here. Tinker an option as well. Tinker would actually be great this game, because he can also build an early Ghost Scepter. You can constantly rearm that, and TI9 champions have no way to deal with the Ghost Scepter. So I'm thinking Tinker, I'm thinking Prophet. They don't have a Keeper of the Light, but they need a strong counter and split push. The one concern for Rilimin, it will be the Prophet. No surprises. The one concern for this team, maybe they'll go Prophet and Tinker. That actually could work. Because you can run a defensive tri-lane with the Nyx, the Shadow Demon, and the Phantom Lancer. Get an early level 6 on the Nyx. You can shut down Darkseer with that combo. You definitely have enough between Disruption as well as the Impale to actually kill the Darkseer. So that would be a strong defensive tri-lane. Force him into the jungle so he can't disrupt the Peel's farm too much. Your Prophet could just jungle from the start. Doesn't even really need to be in the offlane. There's not much point to doing it. And then you have the Tinker mid, and maybe you go for a couple of smoke ganks, something like what we've seen Winter do a lot on ABC, just the Shadow Demon Nyx combo. They're not the strongest ganking pair, but they're usually good enough. So I think a Tinker here would be the ideal choice, and then once you get to the mid game, March of the Machine spam, Prophet ult, and TI9 champs, as good as their carries are, as good as their split pushes, they don't really have much gank. They don't have much ability to just jump in and kill a hero, so they can't really punish the split push. They don't have a hero like Storm. I mean, maybe... Nah, they can't really go for one. Unless they want to jungle the Lifestealer. I guess they could jungle the Darkseer. They could run a Lone Druid as the offlane. Maybe a Lifestealer Jakiro mid, and then something like a Storm safe lane versus a Prophet. Could actually work. So if they want to go Storm, maybe they have the option. But if they don't go for something like Storm, Rilimin is going to have no way to really... or TI9 champions are not going to have any easy way to stop the split push. But they go back for Bane. So it looks like it will be Nyx playing that solo role. Maybe a Bane solo mid. But I feel the Nyx is just a much more versatile option in that mid lane. He doesn't really match up that well against Lone Druid. He doesn't match up that well against Darkseer. That's the main issue, is whoever TI9 champions does throw mid, if it's either of those two heroes, they can dominate a Nyx in lane. Lion is the final choice. So a greedy support, some lockdown for them. So much needed lockdown. I mentioned they needed a way to counter the split push. So they go for a support who can do it. They're not good. They're going to be running the 3 cores most likely. The Darkseer, the Lifestealer, and the Lone Druid. And with that being said, the players are now selecting their heroes. So let's see who they got. We are going to be having Lippy on the Bane. And last game, Lippy was our support Tidehunter. So we're looking at Fomofu Nyx Assassin. So it will be a mid Nyx. Going to be T-Duck in the jungle as the Prophet, or offlane. But I imagine he may just start in the jungle, because they do have some heroes that can kill him off quite easily, with Lion, Twin-Headed Dragon, as well as the Lifestealer or Lone Druid. So that being said, we'll introduce the teams quickly. On the side of Rilimin, your Oceanic team from New Zealand, from Australia, we have Vodki on the Shadow Demon, Famofu on the Nyx Assassin, Lippy on the Bane, going to be playing that support role, Kux on the Phantom Lancer, and then last but not least, T-Duck heading to the offlane is the Nature's Prophet. On the side of the TI9 champions, not looking like they're quite ready for TI3, so maybe TI9 is a good starting point. We will have Lilith playing the Lifestealer. I believe she was actually a support last game, so a bit of a role switch here. YXL on the Jakiro. Then we have SDN bring up the rear. Are they really going aggressive? Going aggressive with a Lion and a Jakiro. They don't have much damage. They don't have much burst. And they're up against Shadow Demon Prophet. This is a dangerous move. I am fucking pro is going fucking mid as that... I don't know why I just felt like saying that. It's going mid as that Lone Druid. Jun H playing the safe lane as the Darkseer. And over... so towards the bottom lane, we're going to be seeing T-Duck playing that offlane Prophet. So it's going to be Prophet versus Darkseer. Jun H will get absolute free farm. He'll have a very easy time. He can farm his jungle. He can do some pulls. He should have a really fast mech, like 9 minutes in, 10 minutes in, if he's efficient. We'll see if he is. Lone Druid Bear going to be scouting things out. Lippy going to take a haste turn. Are they dual laning? I guess they may be. So they're expecting the Lone Druid or the Darkseer mid, I suppose, and just saying this Bane can't, or this Nyx can't really win that lane by himself. Maybe not. Lippy's going to head top. But the camp is warded off. They're going to be pulling the wave off the bat. A good start for TI9 champs, as Prophet is going to be able to pull the wave. Darkseer actually didn't kill this off. He's also, what he should be doing right now is pulling his wave to meet right here. But he's not doing that. So a mistake from Jun H off the bat is going to give the Nature's Prophet a lot of easy experience. TI9 champs showing a bit of sort of a green. They're green. They're new to the competitive scene, at least from what I've seen, and showed a little inexperience here. But still, should be okay for the Darkseer. He'll at level 2 quickly. He can still farm the jungle. He can push the lane if he likes. He's going to double Ion Shield up. Then you can go back and farm this camp. Well, you could, except our Nature's Prophet is going to block it. Nice play from T-Duck. And the smoke gank immediately towards the mid lane. So it'll be Bane, Shadow Demon, and the Nyx. They can kill this Lone Druid easily. If he doesn't run right now all the way to his tower, he's going to die. They don't have much burst, so they do need him to be a bit farther away so they can really chain up the nukes. They don't have Soul Catcher either. Actually beat on the high ground. It may be hard. They're going to go right now. This is not the best time to go in, but they're going to start with the Impale. They're not going to get this kill. They need to back. They will. Not a good time to go. You want to go when he's down here, when he's over here. They leave Kux alone top lane, and actually, there are sentries. They can maybe find the first blood top. They do stack their stuns a lot, and with that, Kux should be able to just walk away. They'll be fine. Both team supports not really chaining their abilities properly, not really choosing the right times to go in, but with that being said, not a total loss. I mean, call it a pretty much even trade as far as that goes. Left unchecked, though, this Lone Druid, as I mentioned, is going to dominate the lane if he plays it correctly. Famofu is going to have a hard time even approaching the creep wave. That's why they wanted to go for the gank. It was a smart decision as a team, it's just the execution was lacking. Even those Lone Druid auto attacks, he has quite a solid auto attack on his hero in the laning stage. Normally, you go later on, you're like, man, Lone Druid is all about his bear. That's true, but in the laning stage, the hero actually hurts a lot. He's an agility hero with a good animation and decent base damage. That means it's annoying to lane against him. You can see Nyx, with 4 armor, still takes quite a bit of damage. Didn't go for the stout shield early. Is rushing that bottle. It is on the way now. Meanwhile, top lane, the pull is coming out from Rilimin. So early on, Lone Druid the lead farmer. Lifestealer close behind, 9 and 8. Or Lilith. Boots now up. Aggressive trialing with the Lion. They're not pulling this camp either, so... Again, just their supports for both teams not really playing super efficiently. If you're going to run the aggressive tri-lane as the Radiant, you really want to be pulling this camp. You also want to be trying to disrupt the enemy pull so that you can actually pull ahead in CS. But instead, we're going to see a support differential start to accumulate. It's not here yet because they went for that smoke gank, but if it keeps up like this slowly but surely, Rilimin should pull ahead. They're behind now, though, and they're going to go... Uh-oh. They're going to go onto this Lion. Just so weak in the offensive tri-lane. One of the worst supports in the game, honestly. Squishy, as squishy as a Crystal Maiden, has awful base move speed, has really crappy disables at low levels. 1 second AoE stun with 12-second cooldown. That is not a good stun. You compare that to Light Strike Array, it's 8 seconds. I think it even costs less mana. It's like 70 or 80 at level 1, something like that. In all respects, it's not a great matchup for him. But the good news is, well, they have a Darkseer who should be getting free farm. He's actually not playing that efficiently, though. He's not pulling at all. Prophet blocked his camp earlier. He's not stacking. What you really want to do is just push the lane as hard as possible and then go farm your jungle. So you can basically farm 2 places at once. It's the same thing that we talked about when you're on the off lane. Is just pull this camp, farm 2 camps at once. You can do the same here on the Radiant. Just push the lane and then go farm here. So you can basically get the lane and the jungle farm, but he's not doing that. Some inefficient play across the board. I hate to sound like a negative Nancy, but it's my job to point these things out, guys. So the pull is being contested a bit. Lippy not opting for the small pull. That's something you could do which can't be contested by the TI9 champs. And when you're up against a Lifestealer, who is one of the few heroes that can just walk in and steal your pull and not really be worried about... Well, actually he could be worried, because he doesn't have a point in Rage. Or she doesn't, rather. Not a big fan of this build either. You really want a point in Rage. You're up against a lot of disables. Meanwhile, mid lane, Famofu not having fun. That's level 6 in Lone Druid, surprisingly not in ult form. He'll want to be there. If those supports go off the map top, he should definitely pop into his ult. Famofu's level 6. He can burst him down now. But the auto attack's just not even going to scratch a Lone Druid, who has 8 armor with Tranquil Boots. Things really, overall, looking okay for Rilimin. I see the Radiant with a slight gold lead, slight experience deficit, but I would say this is what Rilimin wants. Because their laning stage, not very strong. Whereas TI9 champs, aside from the Lion, have incredibly strong laning heroes. They should be getting more out of that safe lane than they are. Phantom Lancer's not really farming, but he's getting something, and they have a Prophet. Prophet can join that tri-lane, easily you can kill off the Lion. The Twin-Headed Dragon of potential kills, well, you're probably not going to kill the Lifestealer, but if you kill the 2 supports, you're going to be in good shape. Finally, we see a point in Rage at level 4. They will want to start to create some pressure around the map, though. You have a level 6 Nyx, you have a level 6 Prophet. This is your window to gank that top lane. Buy a smoke, buy a TP scroll. Once he has a rune, he'll look to go. Prophet ult, there's your fight top. Bounces through. Nobody dead yet, but Vodki dropping low. He'll be the first one to fall. The kill is going to come the way of... Or sorry, actually the Lion the first one to fall. Vodki is the counter kill. Now into the Jakiro, who will drop quickly. And now Lilith, last but not least. The tri-lane in disarray. All 3 heroes dead. No surprises there. Just the Prophet ult was all that needed. All that was needed. Meanwhile, mid lane, Famofu manning up, but cannot quite get the kill on the Lone Druid. Who now is going to wish he had been seeing an ult form that whole time, but... We'll go into it just in the nick of time. Because of that, I am fucking pro, has to go back to base. So, pretty much like I said a second ago, is they're losing the lanes a little bit, but TI9 champs need to be winning them a lot harder than they are. Especially running the aggressive tri-lane. If they were going defensive tri-lane, that would be okay, because Lion can get a really fast level 6, then you can start putting pressure on with him, with his Finger of Death, with some cleverly timed snow ganks. Only 6 CS a minute on a safe lane Darkseer. It's actually quite low. Buckler being rushed by T-Duck. He's going to be rushing a mech, and I love this choice. This is sort of your Xiaowei a la, or circa the International 2 style Prophet. Just that really fast mech. Join the fights quickly as the 3-position Prophet, and just basically be there to make sure that PL's deaths are limited, maybe turn a couple of fights around, and he's already turning them around just with his ultimate. We still haven't seen the full power of the mobility of Rilimin's lineup. We haven't seen the Nyx Assassin just show up as that +1. Once he has Arcane Boots, I imagine Famofu will be looking to do just that. The good news is for TI9 chips, they can at least get something in return. Lone Druid can't like really leave the lane and do anything, but he can push. So potentially they can at least get an early tower if that Nyx goes ganking. Now Famofu is going to pick up his Arcane Boots, and at the same time, a double damage rune will be spawning top. Not secured yet by I Am Fucking Pro. You really want to be scouting the top rune with your bear just constantly, so you can either deny it or take it for yourself. Or save it for a teammate. The mech coming soon on John H, but a mech on the Prophet is a much bigger deal. He could be anywhere. Darkseer can't. And he's the stronger in this matchup. So all things considered, TI9 Champ's in a decent position. Lone Druid is going to be farming towards a pretty fast... We'll see. It's either a Radiance or a Maelstrom. I mean, but the point is it's going to be fairly fast. He's farming reasonably well. He's at 45 CS 9 minutes in. 6 CS a minute for a solo mid Lone Druid. And he didn't die. He didn't give up the first blood. That's quite good. So he's really the brightest spot for this team right now. And it looks like they've said, our Lifestealer can live on her own. Lilith, you've got this top. We're going to rotate towards bottom. We're going to start doing some pulls. Maybe if you go for a gank on T-Duck. This will be big, because he's almost got the mech. It's not out yet, though. The bottle being couriered over to Famofu. Oh, Lilith. Dropping low. It's going to have to... Oh, no! Sniped by the Prophet ult! What a play by T-Duck! Lilith gets cocky. Doesn't use the wand. Doesn't use the healing salve. Oh, boy. Oh, what a play. What a play. Now he's got his mech, and he's got another 200 gold. Your offlane Prophet securing the mech before the enemy Darkseer. He did go for Soul Ring. Now, T-Duck, oh, gonna get Hexed, Impale, but double TP comes in. Nyx is not here. Bane and the Shadow Demon are the two that are arriving, but Prophet, the mech, could be on its way. Courier's still heading back. Sitting at base, he's not microing that Courier. Really should be delivering the mech right this second, so, well, we'll see. Famofu goes in, looks to go on John H. There's an Impale, not going for it yet. That's only a one-hero Impale. Famofu does not really hit anyone else. Unfortunate from him. Now Lippy to fall. Without the mech, without the multiple hero Impale, the fight actually not looking that good, but Famofu has an Invis rune. The Prophet could maybe buy back. Does he have it? No, he's short.
Radiant's top tower is under
Meanwhile, as soon as Nyx leaves that lane, Lone Druid to push, Phantom Lancer to farm. So the trades for both of the carries. But the big issue there, Prophet was not sending himself the mech head. Quite a bit of time to do it, and Famofu missed the multiple hero Impale. He was also just late to join the fight. He ran all the way down there. I thought maybe he should have just TP'd, but he wanted to go for the backstab to cut them off. Now he's going to try to get this tower deny mid. It is in deny range. If Lone Druid gets this, he's going to be getting fairly close to his relic. It will be denied by Nyx. Nice play from Famofu. Here comes the rotation in, the retreat back. 3 heroes converge on the middle lane. Looking at the vision quickly for the Radiant side. They actually have good vision, and Lone Druid's a hero that needs it. He's not like a Queen of Pain or TA where he can kind of survive on his own. So, smart play by the supports of the TI9 champs. When they rotated from top lane towards bottom, they did manage to place some wards along the way. So the 2 mechs are now out.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And with that, both teams will probably start to go for some pushes. They do catch the Darkseer top lane. He's disrupted. He didn't vacuum. Now we'll vacuum the min hit, but he's likely to fall. The Prophet ult secures the kill. Didn't vacuum to remove those trees for quite a while. I think he may have gotten purged, though. So, wouldn't have been able to surge away from the looks of things. Probably already used it. Still. Another kill. And meanwhile, T-Duck TP's bottom. He doesn't want to give up a tower for free. Famofu pressuring mid. Pushing that Lone Druid, whose bear is back at base. Is he going to go phase? Is he going to go Radiance? It's probably a Radiance game. You need your Lone Druid to get fat. Oh, Prophet gets stove bottom lane. They pick him off. 6-4 now. And they get the tower destroyed by the Radiant. But now Famofu, with the backstab, walks into a Sentry Ward. Needs to Carapace here, but there will be a rage in 2 seconds' time. He can't. He'll die. He had a moment to Carapace, just didn't do it. I think he assumed the Lifestealer had rage and that he was dead anyway. But could have potentially turned that fight, at least cut off the line. So a blunder from Famofu, a pick off on the Prophet. The 2 solos dead. The TI9 champs getting some action here. Pulling ahead in terms of gold, up to about 2.5k gold lead. Down on experience, but that doesn't matter much. Kux is farming, though. This Phantom Lancer is getting pretty much uncontested free farm. He is the lead farmer in the game, in fact, because I think he got the last hit on the tier 1 top. He did. So that pulls him back in front. So for everyone tuning in, this is game number 2 of a best of 3 between Rilimin versus the TI9 champs. The winner will be advancing of the whole series. The winner of the whole series will be advancing into the next round, Phase 2 of the G1 League. Right now we're in the Southeast Asian qualifiers, or the Asian qualifiers, as Rilimin is from China, not from Southeast Asia. Or TI9 champs are, rather. So if Rilimin win this game, they're in. If they lose, we go to a deciding game 3. And now the armlet comes out on the Lifestealer, Lilith to pick that up. Not the fastest farm, but pretty solid. Armlet, phase boots, 72 CS of 14 minutes. Lilith's been fairly active around the map, 2, 2, and 3. A couple of deaths slowing her down. Also the fact that her supports left her alone top, and the fact that she didn't go Midas because they wanted to aggressive tri-lane and contest that PO. Oh no. We're going to see a double damage hasted Nyx. Who Vendetta's up, but Lifestealer had vision of this. He was right in the camp. And immediately, Lilith's going to run to the tower. Smart play from her. Now the top lane. Lone Druid, it will be the Maelstrom build. Going for this mid-game timing. Doesn't want to counter the split push of the Prophet or the PL. Just wants to get the early towers and try to accrue a big map control advantage that way. But if they don't just win all the fights, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble later on because they don't have a way to deal with split push. They have Darkseer and Lone Druid. That's alright, but a Lone Druid can only be in one lane. He can't have his Radiant Spear in one lane and then his hero in the other since he's not going Radiance. And Lifestealer, not the fastest pusher. Nice Rage. Well timed there. No Demonic Purge. Starts with the Disruption. We'll probably Purge Lilith right after this, but in comes the Darkseer. Beautiful vacuum. Beautiful Impale to follow up, but they're all healthy thanks to the mech. They're all still alive. The Finger gets kill number 1. A secondary stun from the Nyx. Not going to be enough. It looks like they're going to lose 3 when it's all said and done. Actually 2. Lippy likely to fall. Nyx just skirting on the sidelines of this fight. What a great tower defense by TI9 champs. And it started with a well-timed Rage from Lilith. Dodges that initial Impale. Then mans up. Shadow Demon never dropped the Purge until it was too late. By the time he dropped it, the fight was lost. And now the Lion has a blink. What a fast blink for SDN. Doesn't even need Mana Boots because he's got the Arcanes on the Darkseer. It's going to be a bit short on mana, but this is a big item. This can really punish split pushing. You rarely see a blink this fast on an off-lane, tri-lane support line, but he's 4-1 and 3. That's why he's got it. Meanwhile, top lane, there will be a Purge. Vodki cannot use that Disruption too early. Now there's no mana for TP. He's actually just going to get an easy kill on I Am Fucking Pro. Down he'll go. Overextends, trades his life for that of a tower. But this blink on Lion. With a blink on the Lion, they can just pick anyone off. Now it's going to be Rilimin who have to be very careful. They're likely to lose their Prophet here. A Hex and Impale, he's dead. Surge to start, open ones to follow. No way out for you, sir. Oh, throws the Impale when he didn't need to. Cux throws in a Lance. Lion blinks, but that doesn't disjoint the Lance. It will still follow you. Diffusal Blade's coming soon. But I don't know if it'll be fast enough. If you're going to give away these heroes, this is a good play to play. You want to be aggressive. They didn't go for Storm. They went for another support. They chose to put that Lone Druid as their solo mid. They chose to run the 3 cores basically and not jungle the Darkseer, which was an option. So instead they picked up an extra support, but they picked up one that can be like a Storm, which I mentioned earlier. That is an important type of hero to have against Rilimin's lineup. A hero that can just jump in and kill your split pushers. The heroes they had could not do that. Lifestealer's not going to do that. Darkseer's not going to do that unless he gets a Hex, which is a massive amount of item to farm. But Elia with a blink, now they can counter the split push. So the way they're playing it, very smart. And the fact that he rushed it, I really like this choice. We'll see, though. It is still a Phantom Lancer and a Prophet. It is still one of the most annoying split push lineups in the game. Now the Prophet ult to bounce through. Splashes towards mid, gets the Jakiro kill. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Barely even had to stretch for that. And every time they find a kill like that, that creates a lot of space for the Phantom Lancer. Because if you're TI9 champs, you really need your Lion and your Twin-Headed Dragon to take these fights. They are your 2 only sources of disable. Darkseer, Vacuum doesn't count. Entangle, not reliable. And now we're going to be seeing the phase boots after that Maelstrom, so going back for those. Unless he's thinking Armlet Bear, but I do not approve. I like the phase. It's really good for against a hero like Prophet. You can't actually tree block the bear. The bear can just phase right through them, continue chasing freely, and that's actually very important. Also for PL Illusions. He's going to catch out Lippy here, and Entangle would be probably death for Lippy, but no Entangle just yet. Not going to remove the aggro from his bear. He's just chasing with his hero, looking for the hero body block. Now brings the bear back in. Meanwhile, there was a lifestealer kill on the Nyx. He gets caught out. The mech is here. Lippy is just getting basically mauled to death. Where's that second Entangle? It is not going to happen. Now T-Duck on the run. Gets blocked by his own creeps. T-Duck tries to TP out. If he gets entangled, he will die. No, he gets a vacuum. That was available. And now the TP attempted, but down he'll go. Wastes the TP scroll and throws away his life. Now the surge on the bear. That's one fast bear. That is super obnoxious to play against. Blink it from the lion. Hex to follow. Entangle is there. 3 kills. The only core that's alive right now is the Phantom Lancer. And that's devastating. So Famofu, there was a Radiant Ward here. It looks like he got picked off trying to go for that bottom rune or trying to run away from it. He seems to be saving for a blink of his own. I imagine a blink hex from the lion started that initiation mid. Probably how it went down. It's their most reliable way to initiate, and that's big. There is defusal up on PL, which we saw picked up about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Now the drum's complete. Something on the courier for him, perhaps? Yep, upgraded defusal. He's been listening to gods. Gonna get that right away. It won't accelerate his farm, but it'll help him more in the fights. Wow, look at that upgraded defusal. Look at the damage on that upgraded defusal. Oh boy. But Kux gets entangled. Kux is in trouble. He's mech'd up by the Prophet. He doesn't have mana to topple walk. He will be disrupted. Can he get out of this one? He can't. The Prophet ultimate splashes through, but doesn't really do enough. Now on the way out is Vodki. Meanwhile, in the middle of the fight, it's the Lifestealer who will be just manning up, killing off Famofu. Famofu, the one who really overextended there. Now Vodki, the bear resummoned, still chasing him. These chaotic team fights, exactly what the doctor ordered for the heavy chasing power of the TI9 champs lineup. Rilimin want to be split pushing. I'm really confused why they're coming to the fight. Even an Aegis, something I'd be okay with giving up if you're getting tier 2s, you're getting tier 1s, but they're just trading kills and not split pushing. And that is the worst possible situation for them. Looking at about a 10k gold lead, a 7.5k experience lead. Basically a massive advantage for the TI9 champs. This will be the armlet bear. Well, at the rate they're going, maybe it is the right item. Won't help you break the base, but not nearly as much as an Assault Crest, but will just help you basically fight now. And that's what they want to do, is keep on fighting now. Aegis on the lone druid. YYF build on the Lifestealer. Lilith going for the Sanji Yasha. Pure move speed for him. If you're Rilimin, you want your Phantom Lancer on one side of the map, your Prophet on the other. Either way is fine. Doesn't matter who's where, but they both need to be split pushing. Unfortunately, they're not. Phantom Lancer's defending. This is not going to work. You cannot defend right now if you're Rilimin. You must split push. Maybe you can if you hit impales like that. Fiend's Grip on Lilith, who doesn't have the Aegis, dropping low, but the Ice Path is there. The blink in from SDN has not thrown the impale out yet. No finger either. Is he going to finger somebody? Could go on Vodki. Still not. Running low on mana. Still has that Finger of Death. Killing spree and a buyback from Vodki. Now Kux trying to escape. There is no detection for him from the looks of things. Now the Sentry gets dropped, but too late. Another sloppy engagement. Meanwhile, Prophet breaking the base. So the Phantom Lancer stalling. This is going to drive them back. So at least one hero was split pushing during this time. They could have gotten more had the Phantom Lancer been there, had he been bottom. Meanwhile, as they try to TP out, it looks like they've left behind a couple of heroes. Who's it going to be going down? SDN still no Finger of Death, has no mana for it now. He's being perpetually short of mana as of late. Now Kux gets entangled, but will be slept, and then can turn around. Uh-oh, Lifestealer wicked sick. But I am fucking pro. If he loses this Aegis, he may die twice. All three need to retreat as a unit, as a team. The bear scouting things out, keeping them safe. They will escape. They keep that Aegis. Crucial for them. The armlet on the hero, actually, not on the bear. Now it goes back on the bear. He may have... I think I am fucking pro may have given that to his hero in the middle of the fight, just to allow him to armlet toggle and live. Not 100% sure. It also could have just been delivered to his hero, as I didn't see what initially happened in the midst of that chaos. Prophet did go down. Has not really progressed on items in a while. He got the Midas, he got the power treads, but that's it. 23 minutes in, this is not much farm for a Prophet. The reason is he keeps on dying. 3, 5, and 6. He had a great start, but it slowed down a lot. And Jakiro is pinning a gem. Whose gem is that?
Radiant's middle tower
Ah, our Lion has Arcanes now. Now SDN will have mana. Would like to see him be a little more liberal with that Finger of Death. It's got a long cooldown, sure, it's an important ability, but you just want to pop someone immediately. Ideally, I hear like the Nyx Assassin. Maybe even the Shadow Demon, but the Nyx would be probably target number 1. The PL perhaps, but it's so easy to just select the wrong one, so a bit dangerous to go for that. Diffusal 2 has been up. Is he close to anything else? Yasha could be coming soon. That'll accelerate the split push. TI9 champs are going to go right back down mid. They actually are going to use Lion as an infest bomb. He's going to throw his life away just to bring the lifesteal into the middle of the fight and potentially get a nice blink stun, a nice blink hex. The Prophet ult will bounce through, bringing SDN down a bit. They don't have a pipe just yet, but they're going to look to break this base anyway. With Armlet on the bear, they will siege effectively. They have the gem. There's no sentry in the lane.
Dire's middle tower is under
But
attack.
meanwhile, it's going to be that Nature's Prophet. It's going to be T-Duck drawing them back if they don't go into the base soon. They're still waiting for... Oh, sorry, they do have pipe. Darkseer's picked that up. John H has it now. Now they're going to go for the base. Can they break it? Can they get through? Can they push in? We're going to have to see. If they can't, if it goes long, Rilimin are going to start feeling more comfortable. They're going to spawn some Shadow Demon illusions of the Phantom Lancer. Now going to go to work, but here's your blink. Hex from the Lion. No Finger. He gets gripped. Kux may live, but no disruption because it was already used. Vacuum in. A nice Sprout to follow, but it's a Sprout for the wrong side. T-Dog trapping his own team in. Side of that vacuum. Triple for the Druid. Now the Rack's in jeopardy. The tower being muscled down. There is a glyph. It'll be popped now. Blinking from Nyx. Stun on 3. Actually on 4. What an incredible stun from Pomopu. Now John H. doing what he can. Not sure if it's going to be enough. The tower dropping quickly. Lifesteal man's up. Round number 2. Fight. He's trying to get T-Duck. He won't get him. But Pomofu stuns again. Can't do it. Now Lilith breaks down the tower. Is going to push his way into the base. They were not prepared for that Infest Bomb. And the big issue, Shadow Demon disrupted that PL. Did not have it available. Had he had the disruption there, they probably could have saved their Phantom Lancer immediately. But instead, they're going to just get destroyed at their base. This might be game. It's a massacre. It's a bloodbath. The TI9 champs playing like champs today after that disappointing game number 1 performance from them. Probably expecting a GG as Lilith just chills, but not seeing it. So now they're going to go look to break the base, end the game now. 26 minutes in, they're up by 12k gold, they're up by 14k experience. This is going to be it. As long as they can get 2 lane of Rex, that's game. And if we look at buybacks, nothing on the Nyx, nothing on the Shadow Demon. Lilith dropping low, GG from Pomofu, but it looks like they're fighting on, at least for the moment. They haven't actually left yet. Blinking from Lion, Finger of Death seals the deal. And the Chinese contenders, they're forcing a game 3. They're not out of this fight just yet.
Barracks are under attack.
We'll see if they can go all the way, guys. We will see. They've got one more game ahead of them.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's middle tower.
Some suboptimal play from both teams, but still an entertaining game, a cool finish to it. And overall, TI9 champs had a sound strategy, which was just get the mid-game items up on the lifesteal on Druid. The big game changer, though, was the Blink Dagger and Lion. This is the one item that won them the game. Without this, without a pick like the Lion, I don't think there's any way they take this. They needed that Blink Initiator, or whether it was a Storm Spirit, a Lion, whatever the case may be. Throne may die, game may end first. But stay tuned, guys, because we got more action coming up. The throne will explode now. In a hail of rocks, stones, and general death, flames emerge. Mount Doom has been revealed. Reel them in. They dropped game 2, but they took game 1, which puts this series all tied up 1-1. You're watching the G1 League Qualifiers brought to you by Beyond the Summit. I'm LD, your host. If you enjoy my casting, as always, be sure to follow me. Twitter.com/LDDota. And more importantly, be sure to stay tuned because we have more action coming up. After this match, we will move on. We have a total of 3 best-of-3s after this game, so 4 on the day. By the time today's done, there will be 8 teams remaining. Only half of the games will be broadcast here. Unfortunately, there are no other casters, so you won't be able to catch them all. But with that being said, they should be exciting games. So stay tuned. More action after this. Will it be Fomofu's team? Will it be Rilimin? Or will it be the TI9 champs? It's Oceania versus China. We'll see how it all shakes out in a moment.